Hi again, and welcome to the Community Show. We are here in beautiful Craig County. It is their fall festival. It is looking to be a gorgeous day, just a couple clouds in the sky, slight breeze, nice October crisp air, and they have music, vendors, historical society has some old loom operations going on, and we're going to talk to a few of the people and see what this fall festival is all about and how the people like it. So join us, and we will be visiting our friends in Newcastle and Craig, the surrounding area. All right, so we are here with Jackie Taylor with the Craig County Historical Society. It is a beautiful day with the fall festival. We could not ask for better weather. So let's just go ahead and get started. What is the fall festival here in Craig County?
The Fall Festival is put on by the Craig County Historical Society, and it is to keep the history of the county alive, to try to preserve for the future the county and how special it is, and what it means to all of us. And the society was formed in 1981, and a group of residents, my parents, mom and dad included, got together and raised the money to purchase the old hotel, we call it. It was an old saloon, and they purchased the hotel, and that has been their main source. They've worked there to restore it, and each room has a history inside, and the festival supports the hotel and the society's activities.
Okay, so how did the festival itself get started?
Um, when they purchased the building in 1981, they knew that they had to raise the funds to preserve it and to redo it, basically. So the festival started. Um, this was our 39th annual festival this year. We were out for COVID for 2 years, but the festival, this would have been our 40th, I guess, this year. But anyway, it was set up to, I'm sorry, that's why it was started, was to raise funds to preserve the history and the hotel.
So, speaking of history, we have a lot of old cars, really nice cars, some newer cars, some classics behind us with the car show, of course. How long has the car show been a part of the fall festival?
It was part of what started the festival. My father had an antique car, and he went to a lot of car shows, and he thought that would be a good way to get people to come to Craig County. So the first festival they had was partly around a car show.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think you told me that your father's car is in the car show right now.
It is. It's that car and the one beside it that is mine. He had sold to a friend. So the car show has been a big part of keeping things going. And of course, some years we have bad weather. People don't bring vehicles. Today it's been a special blessed day because we've got probably 75 vehicles here today.
Even outside of the cars, we got some live music going on, some flat footing, some dancing, and then right next to it in the hotel, we have a lot of historical demonstrations of these looms and them spinning the yarn, the pottery. So has those historical demonstrations always been a part of the fall festival, or is that something that's been added since?
Over the years, they've added different ones. We have a loom in the hotel, and the lady that's demonstrating it is a member of the society. And then on the outside, we've had people that make horseshoes, farriers, and just wherever we have an artisan that can come. It's very interesting for the children, the students, and we're thankful that people will come and put all this together.
It's been a great day. There's a lot of people who have been showing up. Um, is this typical of the fall festival? Does the fall festival usually drawing quite a crowd? And where is the crowd coming from?
Well, yes, it does draw. A lot of people come home to visit family to be here for the festival, and it draws people from across the country that have gone away and come back. And it's really great to see people, and you just come down and see who's here. You know, it's great. But um, this is a way that our nonprofits in the county, the churches, all the organizations, the kids at the high school, and the FFA, the DAR, the Garden Club, and all these groups make their money. The local churches, this gives them money to fund their activities for the year. So it's very important. But the weather has a great deal to do with how many come and what happens with the festival.
And speaking of that, we also see a lot of vendors here. So, um, there's plenty of shopping opportunities for those who enjoy it. Uh,
Christmas shopping. Christmas shopping, yeah.
all right. And for the people like myself who are in Floyd County or surrounding counties or near, within a short drive to Craig, what would you say to them when Fall Festival comes around in 2023? Y'all are wanting your neighbors to come check it out.
Yeah, you need to be here because it's a beautiful ride no matter which way you come, and just beautiful scenery, just lots to do, and we get different vendors every year. They offer many beautiful crafts. It's kind of a mini Old Salem Days, basically.
Well, that and you have the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains, that
Yes.
that famous Craig Ridge that is right there, all covered in fall leaves. So that is something to see.
Yes, and have you ever flown over the valley here?
You should check out that show. I was with Blue Ridge Soaring Society. They were kind enough to fly me up there and get up there.
Wonderful. My brother out there with the blue car has a plane and he flies me around, but people don't realize that this is a bowl here. And the Airstream, because of the society, the Soaring Society, it's one of two in the world that has that airflow, as they probably told you about. But it's just amazing. The other one's in England.
Oh wow.
So, but it's just like a big bowl, and it's amazing. Just takes your breath away when you go up.
Well, we'll have to show you some footage of when we were up in the air. So,
Because and of course they have different times that they come in and fly, and it's amazing to watch them.
well, thank you so much, Jackie. This has been great. I've enjoyed my time at the Fall Festival, and we should be here next year. Fall Festival, Craig, 2023.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to having you. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed talking with you, and you have a great weekend.
You do the same. It's already starting off to get to a good start.
Yes, and you all come back to the festival in 2023. Same weekend, same place.
All right, won't miss it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's George Stoll. I've got a 78 250 here. I take it to car shows to let the kids get in and enjoy and help raise awareness for autism. Please, everybody, look out for the little ones, because they're our future. Thank you.
My name's David Reynolds. I was an original resident, born and raised in Newcastle. This is a 70 Boss 302 Mustang. Dad sold it at the Reynolds Motor Building right up here on the corner in May 1st, 1970. I was lucky enough to find it in '99 by accident. When I was 12 years old, I was at the store riding my buzz bike when it came into the dealership. And when it came off the truck, I was the first one in it. Just sit in it, messed with the gear shift on it. And then it ended up with a gentleman in town named Gary Wright. He ordered it brand new. and he was dating the girl's gym teacher at the high school at the time, Miss Sizemore. And she drove to school every day when she come into the school. And I always got in trouble because I drew pictures of it on my notebook. My teacher would tell me to get back to work at the time. So in '99, by accident, a friend of mine told me about a Boss 302, and I went to look at it and come to find out it was the same car when I was 12 years old that I always wanted. So I had to have it. So I got it, and then I restored it. The rest is history. It'll stay in my family.
And the paperwork right there, that's...
Yeah, I have the original. I have the original build sheet for it. I also have the dealer invoice about the car, when it was made, and all the information about the car. Now, I've had it since '99 and completely restored it. It's been to a lot of different shows. I just really enjoy the car. Anything happens to me, it'll go to my son.
Stays in the family.
Stays in the family.
So I guess Mustangs have always been a bit of a love affair for you, right?
Yes, I've always had Mustangs. I went to the World's Fair in 1964. They had the new Ford showing. I was 6 years old when the Mustang was introduced. And that's what sparked me on Mustangs, because I was there when they were introduced. And I've always had a love for Mustangs, so it's continued from there.
And I guess Steve McQueen movies help too.
Yeah, I like the Bullet Mustang, everybody. That's iconic. Hard to believe it brought $4 million when they sold it unrestored, which was interesting.
Unrestored?
Yeah.
$4 million. Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, I like the old ones. You know, I have one new Mustang, but I like the old one, 69. This is 70 model. Those are 69 and 70 was the best years. I can remember the fall of 68 when the Mach 1s first come out. Dad had 6 of them in the backyard because you couldn't show the new cars until a certain date. So they came covered up, and people used to sneak up because we lived on a hill, and they'd come in the back way just to get a look at the cars. Then we'd have a showing. The dealership, when the new cars came out, we'd have a cookout or a showing, because it only happened every year, and there wasn't that many cars in the days. So that was always a big event when the new cars came out.
All right, well, this is a 1951 Ford Victoria, and it's not a Crown Vic, it's a Victoria. And it was originally bought new in 1951 from my dad by his mother. And after she passed away in the 70s, then he took it. It had been sitting out in a garage, and he took it and redid it. And now my brother has it. And it's in excellent shape. I've got pictures in here of where it started and how it looks now. A lot of people do pictures. I have pictures with my vehicle too, of how it's gone down through the years, basically. Now, a lot of these trucks and cars that are here today were that person's original car right out of high school, possibly, and or it belonged to their dad or their mom or their granddad. So they have a lot of sentimental value to them, and they keep them very nice, and they are happy to go out to a car show and just sit down and talk with people, because you meet a lot of nice people, and if you're a member of the American Car Club, they have activities, and you have awards that you win for certain shows that you go to. Now, our show gives a plaque, because my dad did not like the dash plaques, so we do a plaque for everyone. I have one I can show you. And of course, they get a goodie bag with lots of things in it from Craig County vendors who are here all the time. It lets them know a little bit about Craig, and hopefully they'll come back during the year. The Emporium gives us a gift certificate, and they can go in and buy something. And the insurance agency, Angie Ponton, gives us cups, and the real estate group gives us pins, the bank gives us pins, so it gives them a little piece of Craig County to take home.
learned in college.
Really?
I went to college for art education, and then I majored in weaving as my extra.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very soothing. This loom you can only really do over under like a basic basket weave.
Mm-hmm.
The newer looms you can do all kinds of patterns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This one is just over under.
And what's the other side? The same thing? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Diane has requested red, white, and blue because of the 250th celebration coming up.
I see.
So I think I have, what'd she say, 4 years to get this done.
Does anybody else do it?
I've never had anybody else up here that I know
Wow. Lost art.
of. Can be frustrating when the threads don't
They would be winding bobbins for me to keep me going, so I didn't have to stop. And the children would also be winding bobbins for me. Yeah. Any questions?
Where did you come to learn all this?
Well, my mom had an antique shop, and I teach and teach also crochet and knitting, and she would ask me about lace that were on her items, and she asked me about a type of lace, and I couldn't tell what it was. I had no idea what it was. So I started, this was before the internet, so I started doing book research and found that it was bobbin lace that I didn't know. And so I looked for somebody to teach me for a decade and couldn't find anybody. And finally, I did find somebody to teach me, and it took 2 years before she said yes. I was demonstrating another technique at another museum in this area, and she came in after me, after my time to teach, and she had the pillow, and I went running over to her and said, oh, I've been wanting to learn to make this for years. Could you please teach me to make lace? And you know what she said? No. That's what she said. And I said, oh, please, please. And she said, no, I'm not teaching anymore. It's too hard to teach people. And it takes a long time. Because it takes about a year of making lace every day before you start to think like a lace maker. And so I continued to bother her for 2 years. I sent her cards in the mail. I sent her flowers. I didn't actually go to her house, so I wasn't a literal stalker. No, but I did send her cards regularly. And so finally she gave in and she said, okay, you can come to my house one time and I will show you the basics, which doesn't work. But, and so fortunately I won her over with my winning personality, and we became very good friends, and I ended up going to take lessons from her every week for 2 years.
Country girl, and I knew I'd found a winner. Told her to fix a couple of chickens and a possum for dinner. She said, if you eat all that food, you bend over gagging. Said, don't worry about the mule, now you just load the wagon. Don't you worry about the mule, now you just load the wagon. How long do you can see them old spring saddle? I ain't seen a load you couldn't pull, I ain't bragging. Don't you worry about the mule, now you just load the wagon. Load it up there, Kenny. Oh, yeah. Well, she asked if I want children. I said 8 or 10. Well, I guess we best get started, she said with a grin. But feeding all that bunch is gonna keep your butt dragging. Said, don't worry about the mule, now you just rode the wagon. Don't you worry about the